Not like that.
It's sex tips, prevention tips.
It's very maturely done. It's very helpful.
It gives a lot of information
About who can contact if you need advice.
It's time for Afternoon Delight with Aimee Reece.
Hey guys, welcome to UCO's one and only Afternoon Delight, where we're going to talk about sex, and more sex. I'm your host, Aimee Reece, and this show is brought to you by, well, me, because I don't think sex is talked about nearly enough. Today we'll be talking about birth control, the weirdest, coolest, and hottest place you've ever had sex, porn, and the sexual position of the day. We're going to get started right after we jam out to some Britney Spears with I'm a Slave for You. I'm Aimee, and this is Afternoon Delight.
I know I may be young. Like that.
All right, this is Afternoon Delight. We're going to kick things off with some birth control. So I got this list from the Planned Parenthood website, and I was surprised to find that I knew about most of the birth control options that were on here. But there were still a few I had no idea what they were. Hopefully you guys will know these options, but I'm going to go over them just in case you don't. Natalia, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So the first one on the list is one that I don't particularly like very much, but it's talked about quite a bit in Oklahoma. It's abstinence, and that's pretty much all they talk about here. And there's birth control implant, the patch, there's pills, which is, I feel like, pretty common around here. There's a shot, there's a birth control sponge, there's a vaginal ring, cervical cap, there's condoms, which I've been told most people don't like them in the room. Most people are shaking their heads no at me. There's a diaphragm, female condom, fertility awareness-based methods, also called FAMs, IUDs, the morning after pill, which is actually not really birth control itself. It's an emergency contraception, and should definitely not be taken as birth control because it can really damage your insides for a woman. It's pretty bad for you. There's outer course, spermicide, sterilization, vasectomy, and the pull-out method that is not one that should be practiced very often because it's just not the safest. What do you think, Natalia?
From personal experience, I have tried, right now I am practicing abstinence. I am taking birth control pills, just because they're not only good for birth control, it's also good to regulate your hormones. Or I know friends who take it to, help with acne and stuff like that. And then condoms, I am not a big fan of them, so if you're not gonna use condoms, make sure you know the person ahead of time. And then I have used a day after pill, and it is, you can't use it, whenever you want to, but for sure, it's a lifesaver.
Definitely. Yeah.
How about you, Aimee?
Well, I'm not on birth control myself, but I do take precaution. And I don't have a need for the pill right now, I guess, or for the shot. I'm afraid of them, actually.
Yeah.
I just keep hearing the horror stories of things that go wrong, where your face will break out and it's just awful, or you'll grow hair. I don't know. You grow hair on your face, and I'm like, that's weird. I don't want to. Not about that life.
Right. Well, just caution. Practice caution. That's the best way to do it.
Definitely. As long as you are sexually healthy, then that's pretty much as far as you need to go. Now, the website goes into detail on each one, so if you want to do your own research, which I highly recommend you do because you can't always take, your friend's advice or whatever. You need to do your own research about it. You need to go check out the Planned Parenthood website at plannedparenthood.org. The link is on the homepage, or you can just use the search bar. It's also really helpful. And coming up next, we're talking about porn, so stay tuned. This is Afternoon Delight on Essential Radio. Welcome back to Afternoon Delight. I'm Aimee Reece, and I've got Mike Ipong with me to talk about porn.
Yay.
Mike, what do you think about porn? Do you watch it? Does it get you going?
I used to watch it. I used to be one of those heavy users of acne face, those little kids that just oh my god, porn, the Channel 96, it's all fuzzy, so it's half porn, half The Ring or something. But I used to do that just because I was that curious kid. I was like, oh man, porn, just sounds like the thing to do. But lately, no. I've been too busy for porn. I'm not about that life right now. But when I used to watch it, it was more to see oh man, what am I missing out on? What can I be doing instead of just the general stuff that I was doing, I guess. I don't know.
All right, well, good deal. I watched this movie over the weekend. It's called Don John with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, it was pretty good. I thought it was really interesting how he approached the issue of porn and how it affects reality. So, in thinking that, I asked a couple of people around campus what their opinions were on the sometimes touchy subject. And I have a couple of clips for you guys to hear.
I mean, did they like legitimately want to talk about it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, they were pretty open about it. I was actually really surprised because, you know, I'm doing this show because I feel like no one wants to talk about sex because it's just kind of a taboo topic. But they were actually pretty open about it and they were really honest.
Yeah, well, okay then. Let's hear what they had to say.
All right, let's do it.
I don't really think it's good for you, but I know that most people look at it, so I feel like it's kind of like a social norm, so I can't really, yeah. I have watched it before. I don't watch it now. I can't say it's one of my most proudest moments, but I can say that once you start, it's really hard to stop. It makes you think that it's going to be some really amazing over-the-top deal when it's just supposed to be really, you know, sensual and supposed to be loving, not just nasty.
This is the perfect answer. All right, so it really was a perfect answer, and I was really appreciative of her honesty. But, you know, we couldn't just have a girl's reply and then not have a guy's reply, because we have to have, you know, what they think about it, too.
Right. I mean, guys are usually more immature about porn. Like, yeah, I like it a lot.
And I asked somebody, and they were, like, just joking around about it, and they couldn't be serious. So I went and asked somebody else, and I really liked his reply as well.
All right, let's see what he says.
It definitely makes me want to try new things, but that could definitely go against me, too.
What does that even mean?
I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like, I really like their honesty with it. And I was talking to a friend last night about this topic, and I really loved her answer. She said that she likes porn when she needs inspiration. Sometimes girls are not as visual as guys are, and if you feel like doing some role playing, then what better way than to act like a porn star for a little bit?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, but role playing may not be for everyone, but it is definitely a way to keep your sex life spicy. You know, Mike, what do you think about role playing?
Well, when you say spicy, I just like, yes, I'm all about spicy. But I agree with role playing. I mean, as far as like, I don't know. It depends on what kind of role playing you do. Like, if you get like really weird with it, like, oh, you've been a very bad person, start beating somebody with like a ruler, like that's just kind of weird to me. But I mean, some people, that's just their fix. That's what they like. I mean, I guess a little bit of role playing, kind of like imagining that you guys, because I've seen couples actually go out and pretend they didn't know each other and like actually re-meet each other at a club, like at a bar or something. Like,
yeah.
Just to kind of like give that like, ooh, I barely know you kind of,
yeah.
You know, that edge
mystery.
That mystery of like, oh, what are they going to do next type of thing, even though they've known each other forever.
Yeah.
So I guess role playing on a certain level it's pretty cool. I mean, it seems all right for me. I mean, I've never done it, so.
Yeah. I mean, it can be really nice, but even though it can be really helpful and with getting ideas, and role playing can be definitely good for keeping, you know, the sex spicy. On the other hand, it can lead to completely unrealistic expectations for either party. And you know, that always leads to thoughts of unacceptable actions during acceptable or.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Like if you watch a lot of like pornographic videos and stuff about people like doing all kinds of different like weird things, like positions, like the whipping with the ruler. Like if you watch a lot of that, you'll start to think, oh man, girls are into this, and then like you bring a girl home from a bar or whatever and you start beating her with the ruler. She's like, no, what are you doing? She's not into that, but you think it's okay because you've watched it so many times.
Right,
So
yeah.
I understand. I see what you're saying. I guess I could see that. That's really interesting.
Yeah,
That's understandable. Yeah.
Definitely things to think about. And something else to think about are some crazy places to have sex. I have a list for you coming up next, but first, some music. It's Aimee here with Mike on the Mic iPonk for Afternoon Delight. What's going on, Mike?
You know, just talking about sex.
Well, good, because that's what this show is all about.
Thank God.
So tell me, Mike, are you ready to talk dirty?
Oh, I'm always ready to talk dirty.
Good deal. Well, you know, not too dirty, just sex places. Crazy places to have sex. And of course, I have a list.
Of course you have a list. You always have a list.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm here for. And just FYI, I found this online, but I thought it was pretty cool. Some of these places are a little out there, but it's crazy spots we're looking for. So let's get started. First up, we have sex on a hovercraft.
Jetson sex. Just saying.
I feel like it's a little dangerous for me. It's a little too fast. Sex in a parking garage at the airport.
That's very specific. That's extremely specific.
I know, but it seems really hot, though.
You've been gone for like 3 weeks. Let's have sex now.
Hey, you know, you gotta get it in when you can get it in, right?
Yeah. The word get it in, or the term get it in, just, okay, anyways.
I know, it's gross, I know. Next one is on a parade float while it's moving. That just like ruins the Thanksgiving Day parade for me because I always love to watch that show and I'm like, wait, are people doing it on the float?
See, Planned Parenthood needs to have a float at a parade so they can just have kids. Would you like to volunteer to have sex on a float? Yes.
Definitely. Next one is a little more sensual. It's on a bare rug in front of a fireplace.
It sounds like the beginning of a really classy British porn.
Right?
Just saying.
Next one is on a pile of money.
Man, like Beyonce, probably.
Probably,
Beyonce
yeah.
and
Her and
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z,
Yeah.
yep.
Getting it down. You were conceived on that pile of money in your room right now. Jesus, I don't know why I did a southern accent.
I was like,
guess
that's
one
weird.
of them might have a southern accent. I don't know.
Beyonce's from Texas, so I guess that kind of works.
Yeah, whatever.
Next one is in an igloo.
Igloos are actually really warm, so yeah, they're really warm.
Okay, well, I don't know where it is, but someplace where it's super cold and snowy, they have like igloo-shaped hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And I was like, that would be so cool.
They also have that frozen hotel. That would be crazy to have
Yes.
sex in a frozen
Oh my
hotel, like on a
gosh.
frozen bed.
Yes,
Come on. That's
definitely.
awesome. That's awesome.
Next one is on a volcano.
No thanks.
Nope, not for you. Okay.
I like how the music stopped
I know.
right when that happened. We're like, no.
Even it was like, no.
Anyways.
In a pool of Jello.
Oh, that would be sexy.
That would get places where it shouldn't be.
There better be a diving board, though. I'm just saying. Anyways.
In a tiger cage. But it wasn't specified whether the tiger was in there or not. So that's where I draw the line. I'm like, if it's going to be a live animal chilling out.
It wouldn't be crazy at that point if the tiger wasn't in there. It would just be like bondage. You're stuck in a cell having sex.
In a coffin.
Ooh, that's close quarters. That's close.
But, is the coffin closed or is it open? Because
Touche. Okay, no.
all right.
Claustrophobic people are definitely not doing that
They're
one.
like, heck no. On a pirate ship. Get a little
Jack
Pirates of the
Sparrow.
Caribbean action going on.
Come here, Captain. Anyways.
In a bouncy house.
That would be great.
I mean, that would be so much fun. I think that's on my list now, actually.
And the fact that little kids jump in that after you just is kind of rude. I'm just saying.
Listen, but it would be so fun while it lasted,
Yeah.
This one was weird. In Wyoming, while shepherding sheep. Isn't that weird?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all go that way. Oh, I'm like, what? How does that even work?
I don't know. This is my favorite one on the list, actually, but it's on a Ferris wheel.
That would be awesome. With like
Right?
a fair scene below you and nobody knows what you're doing
Oh
up there.
my gosh. I want that so bad.
That would be amazing.
I love Ferris
would
wheels.
say.
Anyway, next one up is underwater in the ocean. Yeah.
Nah. I'm already afraid of open water. I would not be in the ocean doing. I'm like, that's the last thing on my mind is, hey, that girl looks sexy. Let's do that. No, my first thought is, wow, that shark looks like he's gonna come and rape me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's what I think about. Like, I think sharks are just always out to get me, so I couldn't do it in the ocean.
I mean, they are, because they want some food. They want some food.
No, they actually confuse humans with seals when they're in wetsuits. That's why they attack humans near the beach.
Well, I'm not gonna wear wetsuits, so it's fine. I don't like wetsuits. They're weird.
Okay.
They're weird. They are. I used to own one, and I wore it to the lake once, and it was horrible.
All right, we're getting off tangent.
Okay, anyway,
come back to the
back
list.
on there. So the next one is the end zone of your favorite football team's stadium. Like if they win, you're like, yeah, party, and then you just like.
I'd have to go all the way to Oakland, California.
That's a long ways away.
Yeah, and I think they'd probably shoot me in Oakland for doing that. So
They probably would. The next one's also one of my favorites, but it's at your enemy's wedding.
Would that be like considered revenge sex?
Yes.
That's
but
awesome.
who would it be with? It can't be her husband because that would be weird
Ooh,
and
yeah.
totally wrong. But I mean, what if it was
and
like
if I
her
had
brother or
sex-
something?
Yeah, if I had sex with her husband, that'd be kind of wrong from my
mean-
standpoint. Just saying.
Well, since you're straight, it would be. It'd be kind of.
That's what I'm
strange.
saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they don't know that.
All
You-
right.
you
Well,
can be
now
gay.
they do. Now they
Okay.
do. Anyways,
On a boat is the next one.
on a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In your office, for all those little secretary fantasies guys have, or girls. There could be guy secretaries. It's fine.
Nice.
In the movies.
Okay, I'm
I had a friend tell me that she did this once while we were like watching a movie together, but like we were separated from her and her boyfriend, and I was like, but why? Like that's gross. Like it's public. It's gross.
Yeah,
Not
but
okay.
That's one of those thrills. Like, oh man, somebody's gonna catch me.
But what if you do get caught is the question.
What are they going to... That's the most embarrassing thing, not for you, but for them. They're like, ooh, you're naked. And I'm trying to get you in trouble, but you're naked. And you're, ooh. Like, for whatever reason, when people are having, like, sex and they get caught, it's, like, not even half as embarrassing for them as it is for the person who caught them. They're like, oh.
Right? You're like, oh, geez.
Do I approach you after I leave? Like, what are we doing?
The next, well, first of all, I want to say that I could never do that in the movies because I just like movies too much. I don't want it to be ruined for me. Because it would be ruined. Stop it.
What if it was a terrible movie?
Then I'd probably fall asleep. That's what usually happens in movies.
That's how you stay awake. I'm just saying.
Well, duh. Anyway, moving on. The next one is an airplane, which is pretty obvious, you know.
Mile High Club.
Yeah. That's on my list of things to do before I die, definitely.
Well, that answers my next question if you were a part of the Mile High Club.
But I'm not yet at least.
All right.
The next one is on a cop car, not in one, but on a cop car.
I would think it'd be more crazy to be in the cop car doing it.
That's what Cameron said.
Well, I mean, I would believe it. I mean, Buffalo's just crazy anyways. He'd probably do it in a cop car.
Well, obviously. But on the website, it said on a cop car, and it said bonus points if the cop is still inside. I was like, please.
Because if you do it on the front, then it's videotaping
right.
you. So you're like, oh, we just made a movie. Oh, my
And
God.
a little porn action going on.
Exactly.
Next one up is in your high school cafeteria.
Ooh. That's just wrong specifically because high school. Come on.
Because high school.
Well, I know, like, I was a high schooler, and I will admit that I was a high school kid, and I did have sexual relations in high school. But, I mean, just now that I'm not in high school, thinking about high schoolers having sex is just bugging me.
Why? Because they're little babies?
They're little babies.
We're old?
They're little babies.
Exactly. They're just little toddlers running around. I don't know. I wouldn't do it in my high school cafeteria, but definitely in the backstage area of the high school auditorium.
Okay, now that's a little more discreet. It seems more intimate because you're like, hey, it's quiet.
I literally always thought about that since I went to high school there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Next one up is in a treehouse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Treehouse.
I have a funny story.
Go ahead, tell it.
But no, not right now. Not right now.
Okay.
Not right now. No.
Okay.
No.
Anyway, the last one, but definitely not the least worthy of this list, is your parents' bed.
I'm not proud to say it, but I'm guilty.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Mike, oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. It's gross. But it was just one of those things. It was in the moment and it happened.
I literally heard that so many times, and I'm just like, I don't get it. I could never do that with my parents. Like don't
do it with your parents. Do it in their bed.
No, I know. But stop. But that's where they have sex, and so you're like having
that
sex where they
but
have sex.
Even
No.
then, when you're gone, they probably have sex everywhere.
Oh, true. Oh, that's
because I know
letdown.
my
I don't
parents
need to know that.
used to walk around naked.
I bet your mom's gonna be so happy listening to this.
Jesus.
She's gonna be so happy.
Yeah,
all right. Well, you know what? That's our list of crazy sex places.
And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and tell the story after the next song. Does that sound all right? I'll tell.
Sounds perfectly okay to me.
Story.
Let's do
right.
it. Welcome back to Afternoon Delight. I'm your host, Aimee Reece, and I'm here with Mike on the mic iPod. Hey there. If you're just now tuning into the show, we just got done talking about crazy places to have sex. And one of them was in a treehouse. And at that point, Mike said he had a story, and I'm kind of scared. What's your story, Mike?
Okay, so I told this story to a good friend of ours, a good mutual friend of me and you, Aimee, and she didn't believe me. She still doesn't believe me. I just think she thinks I'm a virgin anyways. But anyways, so I've fallen out of a tree while having sex.
Okay, but wait, no. Hold up. What's the story about you fell out of a tree? Excuse me.
I fell out of a tree having sex. Yeah.
You need to elaborate.
Okay,
on
so I was with a girl that I was dating at the time. This was in high school, remember. I still think that they shouldn't be having sex, but anyways. So we're just walking, like it's nighttime. We're walking around near her house and everything, and we like climb up into this tree, and like there was this just to climb in the tree, I guess. I don't know, but like there was a clearing. We were watching the stars, blah blah blah. All this, romantic.
So romantic.
All this romantic blah blah. High school romance, sitting in a tree. KISSING. First comes love, then comes marriage, and blah blah blah. All that. It's a true thing. That's what I thought anyway. So we're in the tree, and we're getting a little intimate, and we start getting hot and heavy. And I guess I had my footing or whatever wrong, and I just slipped. And she stayed in the tree. She was up in the tree still, and I just fall, and I'm like, oh, like I wanted to laugh at myself because it was so deathly embarrassing. that like I couldn't do anything but laugh, but I couldn't laugh because the wind was knocked out of me from falling out of a tree. It was terrible. I don't recommend having sex in a treehouse just because I've fallen out of a tree. Like there wasn't even a treehouse. I don't know. It was bad.
How far did you fall?
It was just above like I would say in this room, I guess the ceiling, like just a generic, I don't know how tall the ceiling is, like 8 feet tall? Like it was probably just above 8 feet.
Okay.
Like I fell out of the tree. It's not too bad when you don't fall out of the tree. Like I said, the woman did not fall out of the tree. I fell out of the tree.
Well, I mean,
It was I'm telling you this out of confidence. I'm just saying. It was not a good look for me. Just falling out of a tree.
Seems kind of a.
That's that part of the movie when it like takes a wide shot of the tree and you just see like a shadow just and like fall out of the tree. It was crazy.
Oh my god.
Like Jack Sparrow on Pirates of the Caribbean when he fell like all that like all the way down the cliff. That's what I felt like. That's how far I felt like I fell, but I didn't fall that far. Like I could jump and touch the branch that we were on. Like I'd had to jump really high, but I mean I could have, and it was terrible.
Well,
Goodness.
At least you survived,
Yeah. I feel like I have back problems.
Would you ever do it again?
No. I would never, ever, 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 ever. I don't even kiss people in trees. If I'm climbing a tree, it's because I want to see. Yeah, exactly. I don't take pictures of the view from the top of a tree. I don't do anything but climb the tree and get back down. I'm like, oh man, look at this view. This would be a great picture. Well, let's go. No, I do not do any extracurricular activities in trees anymore. I will not.
That's good. That's good though, because my sex position of the day is coming up, and you could not do this in a tree. It'd be really, really hard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
You can
pretty
always
sure.
make stuff work. I'm just saying.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't with this one. So we've got that coming up after some Shaggy. Aimee Reece here with Afternoon Delight, and we have had quite an interesting show today.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Natalia came on and talked about birth control with me, and Mike gave his input on porn and crazy places to have sex.
Yeah.
As well as a very interesting story
Yeah.
that
Sorry, you
all
guys
of
had
you
to hear that.
should take note of what not to do when having sex. Or where to have sex, actually.
No, where not to have sex. In a tree.
Our final topic today is one of my personal favorites that I have been looking forward to talk about all week long since last week's show. And I was really surprised that I even found this. We're going to start doing a sex position of the week segment on here. And to kick things off, which I think is really good for this show, there's a sex position that I found called Afternoon Delight, which is pretty great. And
I wonder why.
I mean, for obvious reasons. But I'm going to explain to you what it is, and then Mike, I want your input on it. Okay?
Do I need to like get a glass of water?
I mean, it might make you kind of hot. You don't even know. All right. So once again, it's called Afternoon Delight, and the description is: this is a good resting position, ideal for getting your breath back during a long sex session. Her hands are free for caresses, and she can enjoy the intimacy of gazing into her partner's eyes. She lies back, and he lies on his side at a right angle to her. She puts her knees over his hips to allow gentle penetration. Lazy but lovely. I mean, it's kind of like a T-shaped type situation going on,
Okay.
But I mean, it sounds nice.
This sounds very intimate.
Yeah. Like I said, lazy but lovely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lazy but lovely. Definitely don't try this with somebody you randomly bring home from the bar. Just
Definitely not. It might kind of be like dumb, I guess.
Yeah. She'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm looking for excitement. Stop. Gosh, yeah. Okay. That's a pretty good first sex position.
Thank you. I thought so myself.
Yeah.
I was pretty proud of it. You can find that one as well as others. If you just Google search Kama Sutra, that's where I found it. Or you can buy the book. There's a book in Barnes & Noble on campus, but I don't know. I was too embarrassed to buy it yesterday.
Here's a random thought on that. They have one if you're too embarrassed to buy it, so then it looks like a joke. Like you're buying it because it's funny, but it really has all the same sex moves in the Kama Sutra. It's Kama Sutra with sock monkeys. It's literally sock monkeys positioned to do Kama Sutra, like just all the moves. It's really funny. Like it's funny, but it's still the Kama Sutra. Just in case you're too nervous to buy it and people look at you like, whoa, that freak. You can just be buying it as a quote joke. you know.
I mean, sure.
I mean,
But sock monkeys is kind of weird.
it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious because it's sock monkeys. You don't think of sock monkeys defiling each other. But,
No, I would never want to think about that.
well, now you're just going to have to go check it out.
Oh, well, I might just go buy the book anyway because, you know what, I just need to grow a pair and just
Please don't ever grow a pair.
I mean, not literally grow a pair, but, you know, I just need to get some courage and go buy it, I guess. I
Right.
don't know. I just didn't want to buy it on campus because, you know, I know people that work there and they see us all the time and I'm on the news and they don't need to,
Yeah, but
they don't need to judge me about that.
You may be on the news, but you also have a sex show on the radio now, so it's understandable. Bada bing.
True. Very
Just-
true. Very true. All right. Well, I believe that's all for us today. Once again, my name is Aimee Reece, and I'm your host for Afternoon Delight. And coming up next week, I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about different sex tips, I guess, you know, for oral or foreplay or anything like that.
I'll
We're-
definitely be tuning in, trying to listen to that.
Of course you will. We're gonna that came,
Wow, geez, just call me out on it. Like, yeah, of course you will.
I mean, I've heard things, all right? I've heard things.
Can't be that good.
Well, you know, you don't even know. I can't even tell you what I've heard, though, before. So, we're going to leave with one last song, and we're going to play David Banner. I love this song. Ready?
I think so.
All right, let's do it.